19%. That's fine.
We're back.
For like hours of jackpot?
Hours? I wouldn't
Yeah.
say hours. Well, I mean like
Hours, bro.
We got scheduled from like 9 to 12.
from 9.
That is.
Okay, you know what? That's fair.
Yeah.
Sorry, 10 to 2.
Well, I'll do it later. During the debate setup, I'll
Alright, so we're gonna play a little game called Who Said It? And if you guys are fans of Rooster Teeth, you'll kind of understand where this came from. They used to play a game called Gavin or Google, where Bernie would give Gavin a prompt and Google a prompt, like a 3-word like open phrase, like why do the, or like how do dogs or whatever, and then see what Google gave back and see what Gavin gave back. I did the same thing with Steve, Tim, and the internet. So your job here is to guess who said what, and then I was going to say we can pick the brains of Steve and Tim to see why they responded that way, but we can just ask Tim why his brain works the way it does, because it is very mysterious based on the responses that he gave to some of these prompts.
I don't remember anything.
If you would like to keep track of how many points you get, you can. Not really a competition, is more just to see how crazy our friends really are. So the first prompt, I said, why does the moon? Why does the moon? One person came back and said, why does the moon always piss me off? One person came back and said, why does the moon just stay in the same place? And one person said, why does the moon look bigger sometimes? So if you would like to debate amongst yourselves and talk, who do you think said what? What do
I
you
already
think?
know.
I feel like the third one was the internet.
The third one's definitely the internet.
Yeah.
The second one is Tim. The
I'm
third
go-
one
A
is
lot of
Steve.
people would have.
That's exactly
Yeah,
where I'm at.
he was
Steve,
probably
Tim,
super
internet.
stoned.
Which one do you think is good?
Stay in
Based on what you know about him.
First one,
Ooh.
we thought you know better that the moon doesn't stay in the same place.
Well, yeah, that's not funny. That's a really funny response. But he definitely put it.
Alright, so you guys have your guesses? So the first person who said, why does the moon always piss me off? Was Tim.
Wow.
Stunning.
Well, we'll dig deep into that in a second. The person that said, why does the moon just stay in the same place? Was Steve.
Wow.
So why does the moon look bigger sometimes
Yeah.
is the internet.
Yeah.
So Tim, why does the moon piss you off?
Bro, just something about it being in the sky when it's in the sky always just pisses me off. Like, it's never there when I want it to be, like when it's a calm night, casual stroll, it's just not there. Then everything goes south, the moon's always fucking there just staring at me. And then all ugly and dumb. Fuck the moon.
Crazy. It does
Okay.
what it stands.
I really wasn't expecting
So I think you
Fuck
got it
You
right.
know it's an inanimate object, right,
I
Tim?
think most of you guys got that one wrong. She got it right. The second prompt was, how do dogs? How do dogs? One person said, how do dogs lick their own balls?
Tim.
One person said, how do dogs touch their toes? And one person said, how do dogs know what time it is?
They're all crazy.
it. Completely lost.
I'm thinking Steve, Tim, internet.
I got no idea on this one. Well, that's what I knew the answer. I have no idea.
What was the
Well,
last?
well, what did you think when he said, how do
the
dogs?
first one was,
Oh, I have
how
no
do
idea.
dogs
I'm
lick their
thinking
own
Big
balls?
Bang is accurate.
The second one was, how do dogs touch their toes? And the third one was, how do dogs know what time it is?
It could be Tim, Steve, internet. I'm locked in on last one.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Because like dogs do kind of know like when people are getting home, and I feel like I could see somebody genuinely.
It's sensible of a question, which means that you need to be like, it's the internet. And
That's why I
Yeah.
keep it again.
the only question in my mind is like, who's more crass? Is it Steve or Tim? To think about like the dog licking its own ball.
That's gotta be Tim, right? Tim's the only one thinking about that.
I was gonna,
So vulgar.
You're locking in Tim for that. I'm gonna say it's Steve.
Alright, so it's Tim, Steve, Internet? Or you're saying Steve, Tim, Internet?
I'm saying Steve, Tim, Internet. I'm saying Tim was thinking about those dog's toes.
It's a crazy statement.
You know, he's right there. You
Which one do
can
you
ask
think
him
is
why
right?
he was doing it.
Honestly, I don't know which one's Tim.
Alright, so the first one, how do dogs lick their own balls, was Steve.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
How do dogs touch their toes, was Tim.
Let's go.
And how do dogs know what time it is, was the Internet. Tim, what do you mean by that?
They don't touch their toes.
There's really no good answer to that because they can lick all their toes. They can reach all of them.
Touch.
But do they
But
have
that's
they
not
touch.
really
They
what you
have toes.
said.
Do they have
Touching
toes?
is licking?
I think licking is touching, but touching is not licking.
Yeah, that's fair. That just makes sense.
Licking is
Very
always
technical,
touching, but touching is not always licking.
I give you
Good
an answer
advice,
because
good
licking is
advice.
so simple.
There we go. So the next prompt was, what would happen if? What would happen if? The first one was, what would happen if the moon disappeared? Back to the moon again.
A lot of moon questions.
What would happen if you tried to fight a cop? And what would happen if we got rid of all accents?
What is the last one?
What would happen if we got rid of all accents? So I'll read them again. What would happen if the moon disappeared? You tried to fight a cop, and we got rid of all accents.
I'm locking in Internet Steve Tim because Tim earlier there was talk of him with his Irish laddie accent, and so I think he has accents on the brain often. Enough that it came up in this random question. Steve,
Yeah.
I think, while in a calm demeanor most of the time, I don't think I can believe under that he's thinking about what it would be like to take a cop on. And the first one, I'm just like, that's
think that's
the
fair.
internet for sure.
I think that's
Do you agree?
Can you read them again?
What would happen if the moon disappeared? You tried to fight a cop. We got rid of all accents.
I feel like it might be Tim, Internet, Steve. I feel like I could see somebody doing be like, yeah, what happened? If I
That's
fought
fair.
them?"
Like you see a video online of somebody
What would happen
fighting
if
a
I tried to
cop.
fight a cop?
I was so close to putting Tim first because earlier it's a
was
proven
beating
fact
with
that
the
he
moon.
hates
Yeah.
the moon. So now he's thinking, well, what if we just got rid of this thing?
Even that kind of mindset, anti-moon mindset when he
Yeah.
answered the question.
But none of the other things seemed like something the internet would ask. So
So the first one, what would happen if the moon disappeared? Was the internet. What would happen if you tried to fight a cop? Was Steve. And what would happen if we got rid of all accents? Was Tim. And you actually had an interesting question about what would happen if we got rid of all accents. Do you remember what you told me?
No.
You asked, if we got rid of all accents right now immediately, would they start reappearing because accents were kind of a product of their time of isolated peoples? Whereas now we see each other every day on video. I can watch a man in China, England, Sweden, Africa.
That is a really good question. Damn.
yeah.
Damn,
Good
I'm
work,
smart.
Tim.
Good job, me.
So I think that is a legitimately interesting question.
I think they'd prop up almost immediately.
I think if you Men in Black neuralized everybody and they forgot which accents,
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance that they would develop, but I don't think you get the same ones developing in the same places again.
Yeah,
No,
no.
I don't think so either because like if you look at like a New York accent, it's kind of like a mix.
It's really just like aggressively Italian.
Yeah, yeah. So like you would have to have like another like influx of like Italian immigrants to create it.
But then the Italians that were coming over in the boat wouldn't have their accent either if we got rid of it.
Sure.
No, they would, because they speak Italian, they don't speak English.
That's also
So then
true.
when they learn English, they have an accent.
Yeah, that is kind of how accents work.
So the second to last prompt was, why don't we know? Why don't we know? One person said, why don't we know if the chicken or the egg came first?
Good question.
One person said, why don't we know who killed Kennedy? And one
Better
person
question.
said, why don't we know when we fall asleep?
It's gotta be Tim.
I'm,
That one? Yeah, Tim's
Yeah,
always
that one is-
and it matches up too, because second one is Steve. That's Steve.
Which one is Steve?
Second one.
Yeah, the first one
Kennedy.
is internet.
You think the first one's the internet?
Yeah.
Age old question. I'm sure people
Yeah,
Google.
and they ask
Can you
a
repeat
lot.
those?
Why don't we know, voice crack, I'm 13. Why don't we know if the chicken or the egg came first? Why don't we know who killed Kennedy? And why don't we know when we fall asleep? Which, honestly, I hope we never know when we fall asleep, because that'd be kind of fucking scary if all of a sudden, like, a warning sign came over your face with, like, you know,
The
It
third
would
one
be
could
nice
the
to let
internet,
me
too.
know.
You can do that. You
Hey,
can
falling
like
asleep.
like you
Does
got
that
a
mean
HUD.
that you're just like not aware?
Well, because think about it, when you lay down,
Yeah.
I, at least for me, I don't recall the moment of falling. I recall being tired and laying
Yeah.
down, but the moment you slip, I couldn't tell you like which position I was in, because sometimes you wake up in a different position than when you
Yeah.
thought you fell asleep. Now you could have rolled over in your sleep, but maybe you just didn't know when you actually fell asleep.
There's actually things you can do to like be awake consciously when you fall asleep.
Yeah, lucid dreams.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can teach yourself to lucid dream. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
But I don't know if you would necessarily know that moment where you switch over initially. You don't get
No.
like a warning sign that comes up that says like powering down in 10.
you not like that, but there are things that happen. There are things that tip you off.
So, the first person, you all have your answers?
Internet, Steve Tip.
Why don't we know if the chicken or the egg came first? Was Tim.
That's what.
Oh.
I didn't think you would go for the sleep thing.
Why don't we know who killed Kennedy? Was Steve.
Yes.
And why don't we know when we fall asleep? Was the internet. So Tim, why are you so obsessed with the chicken or the egg?
This is some bullshit.
Well, which do you think it was?
Bro, there's an answer.
There is an
Evolutionarily
answer.
speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, it's just not a question. Like, in the 1960s and the 1950s, yeah, maybe it was a question before people wanted to like accept evolutionary theories.
Okay.
But like,
Now.
it's 2025. Like, just fucking give us, just be realistic with the answer, because the problem is you'd have to just know the lineage, and you'd have to do like some real fucking genetics like research
Yeah.
to find out. But they could do it.
Oh, so you're like, why has no one
This
gotten
is a
on this yet?
non-answer.
Well, but even then, would the first, so
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you're talking about the chicken or the egg?
The product chicken laid.
Like-
Unhatched this issue.
Well, so, where, like, because you're saying evolutionarily, there is an answer. But at what point is it a chicken? And is it the creature that was in that egg? Or is it the next egg that becomes
That's it.
Which
like,
gave
the
birth?
original chicken? That's what I don't understand. Like, that would be the question.
That's an interesting
What was
question.
the animal that
It's like there was
so
an
a
in-between.
different animal had an egg and a chicken came out?
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Necessarily
It's
speaking,
like a
yeah.
slow, like gradual push though.
I mean, it's
And then
not
eventually it's a point where it's a chicken.
I have never seen a duck like a duck egg and a chicken comes out. I'm just saying.
Well, it wouldn't be
I never
like
seen it.
that drastic.
Yeah.
It would not be a duck
It would be
egg.
like maybe a
It would be a
chicken
chiduckin.
that didn't have
A turkey.
a strong beak,
Oh.
but then their
Or a
child
turkey.
was a mutation that had a strong
A
beak.
turkey and a chicken.
It was
And then because
the
of that strong
That
beak,
is
they
the
could eat
Neanderthal
more,
version
and they
of a chicken.
reproduced.
Yeah.
But that's, you know,
it's the egg.
evolution experts have like talked about like, you know, people want strict answers of when did dogs come around, when did cats, and like because it's like this weird slow like
Yeah.
spectrum, there really is no well the first dog was in 690 BC. You know, it's like what is a dog really? When do you consider it a dog?
Yep.
You know, but it's an interesting question. I don't know if Tim thought that deeply about it, or if he was just mad about chicken and eggs. But
I mean, the thing though is it's the egg.
He's declaring it. He's an expert.
But what makes you say that?
So, like,
Because-
single-cell organisms, they don't have eggs. So at what point was there, like, some organism, and then it just laid an egg? Like, out of nowhere. Egg had never been laid before. Alright? And suddenly,
all of a
suddenly something just laid an egg. I mean, that's crazy. Like,
He
could
lays
you
an egg
imagine?
for the first time,
Like,
and then
we've
the
been
guy
delivering
next to
babies
him.
completely different. Suddenly, someone just drops an egg one day.
Well, they also just like bacteria and single-celled organisms don't like fuck. Like they
Yeah.
have the
Good
asexual
point.
reproduction.
So
it's
who was
not
the
like
first-
they're-
What the fuck?
Who was the
Literally,
first thing to
what
fuck?
the fuck?
Alright, so you have one more. This is the final prompt. Who is, very open-ended question, who is the internet, or not the internet, or
Don't say
Steve,
what
or
that's
Tim.
about.
Could be anyone.
The internet,
Mix 'em up, mix 'em
Steve,
up.
or Tim said, who is in charge of collecting taxes? The internet, Steve, or Tim said, who is responsible for Afghanistan? Not sure what they meant by that.
Just Afghanistan.
One of them said, who is the hand in Smash Brothers?
It's the hand in Smash Brothers.
So we had
Well, I can give
who is
you
in
the answer
who is
to
in
that.
charge of collecting taxes, who is responsible for Afghanistan, and who is the hand in Smash Brothers?
Internet, Steve, Tim.
Wait, what?
Lock
What's the
in.
answer?
It's
The kid.
it's Masahiro Sakurai.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at one point he like pushed pieces over, and he liked the idea of just having a giant hand.
Oh,
So is the crazy hand the hand he jacks off with?
Is the hand like his hand?
Well, they're both hands in like the.
Yeah, and
There's
ultimately
Master
you
Hand
fight
and
both of
crazy
them.
hand.
Is the proportions like his hand?
So
That I
like in
don't
theory,
know.
like, yeah, he jerked off with one of them.
Master
you don't know
hand,
that.
masturbate.
He might be pure.
Yeah, we don't know if he's ever jerked off.
Let's
Next
ask
time
him.
I see him,
I
I'll
don't want to know.
Yeah, you guys are really drilling down to the important questions.
Just send him an email.
So what are we thinking? You said internet Steve Tim.
There's
Yes.
children watching this.
Steve, in my mind, is very focused on the political aspect of things. Who is responsible for Afghanistan? That's Steve's. brain.
Yeah, that seems like a Steve question to ask the internet.
So you're saying, yes. So you're saying taxes was Steve,
No, taxes is the internet.
taxes was internet, Afghanistan is Steve, and hand is Tim.
Yes, I
Yeah,
think.
that makes the most sense.
I
Yeah,
think
that
it's
does.
not. The internet is not specific enough to be like the first thing is.
I got no idea. I couldn't answer any of those questions to be honest.
So
Yeah, I think the Smash one is Tim.
Like like I said, he asked me these questions in the middle of a workday randomly. Like I could have been having 10 different conversations. That made me pick one of these. I don't fucking know.
So the
like
way,
I don't
I will
see
say the
Steve
way
doing
that I
that.
did it is I asked them these prompts. I said, give me 3 responses, and I picked what I thought was either the most interesting or most funny.
Okay.
And for the internet ones, I tried to pick in the top 3 most searched.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the person that said, who is in charge of collecting taxes was Steve. The person who said, who is responsible for Afghanistan was the internet.
Oh.
And the person who said, who is the hand in Smash was Tim.
The internet's really trying to get to the bottom of these things.
He's asked about chickens and eggs. Who's a hand? He's on a mission.
Disembodied hands.
Wants to know how dogs touch their toes.
I haven't been talking about Tim. I was talking about you.
The Afghanistan thing, I think, was just because it was probably very high in the search because of like the pullout, right? So like a lot of people were like, who is now responsible? Who is the acting government of
Yeah.
Afghanistan now that we're not there?
Oh, when
Well,
did you ask these questions?
well, is that?
Years ago?
Hold on.
That was a long time ago.
Is that what that question was about?
I didn't look into it further.
Because my thought process was, who is responsible for what is happening in Afghanistan?
It could have been that. I think it's just been on people's minds because, you know, it was a topic that was brought up
Yeah,
plenty of times. Especially
plenty of
during-
reasons to researching that.
Yeah. So that was who said it. I think if 5. I don't. We weren't really keeping score. Sean, you did fairly well. I think you got
I
most
did.
of them correctly.
I got
Yeah, Tim just really let me down.
3 wrong, but all 3 that I got wrong were partially correct.
You just don't know me, bro.
Just don't know what you're searching on Google.
Is that it?
Yeah. So we're going to take another.
Good?
We're gonna take another quick BRB, and then we're gonna set up for the fake jury trials block. So give us 1 second. We'll be right back.